like to begin by asking you, Governor Reagan, this. Isn't the individual state, in the matter of taxation, required to make do with what amounts to the leftovers, it being the right of Congress freely exercised to tax directly what it wants, as it wants?
Oh, I think this is one of the great problems confronting the states today, and indeed endangering the very federal system of, the system of a federation of sovereign states. The federal government has preempted so much of the tax source. The state finds itself hard put to find sources without upsetting the economic balance that can keep our economy moving. And then in turn, the state, in its desperation for money, reduces the local community, where the real basic services that people must depend on every day are furnished. Education, the police protection, the maintenance of their streets, the sewerage, garbage disposal, all of these services. And your local communities are even more desperate than the states. So your states wind up taxing, and then by subvention, putting back a great proportion of the money that is taxed for the state of California goes directly back to the local communities. We go to Washington, and we are faced with this hat-in-hand prospect of asking for federal grants. And I know I'm accused of oversimplifying, but it doesn't make sense to me for the federal government to take that money first and insist that the only solution to our local problems is for them to take the money, and then they dispense it back to you in grants in which they tell you how to spend it from Washington, D.C. And of course, like an agent with a Hollywood actor, there's a certain carrying charge that's deducted in Washington before you get it back again. Here is a state that's one of the highest tax-paying states in the Union per capita. And we, at the same time, as a result of several years of careless management of our funds, we're in a desperate financial plight. California, in violation of its own constitution, is spending more than it takes in. And we've come to the day of reckoning. Now, we suddenly have to turn to the people of California and ask them for upwards of $1 billion in, I can't call it new taxes. We're getting along without new taxes. We're just raising the old ones about $1 billion. But at the same time, knowing the competitive position of California with other states in attempting to keep industry here, keep our people employed, competing commercially in our exports with other states that are in the same business, or businesses, we have to be very careful that we don't make it uneconomic for business to operate in California. So we must present a tax bill with the sword hanging over us that Washington, which insists on controlling the economy through taxation, has its own ideas about some increased taxes to control inflation. So Washington is sitting there threatening an income tax increase, and yet the income tax is one of the sources we must turn to. Now, how far can we go with that sword hanging up there before, when they let the sword fall, we find that we have just helped destroy ourselves?